Okay. I'm starting the recording, and then um like I said, at iTech Blitz, what we do is more like what you have on the screen. It's kind of split into three. We're a data consulting firm, and we also do two other things that we are using to target Nigerian, or should I say African immigrants, or immigrants in general. And that is basically talking about career advising and career consulting, especially for folks that are looking to transition into tech, data engineering, data analytics, data science, um, and a number of other things, business analysis, project management, and the rest of them. And then as well, we also facilitate trainings. One of the trainings is what we have here today. This is the free one, but you also see on the screen we have from time to time we have our cohort-based trainings, and those ones have to do with getting up to 10 weeks of classroom training um, to get to understand some of the data analytics tools, like talking about Microsoft Excel. And we even have a free course on Microsoft Excel on YouTube, Power BI, SQL, Python. Well, the aspect of Python that concerns data analytics. And then more recently, we've introduced Power Platforms into our training. Apart from having Power Platforms in the data analytics training, that's the one we call the comprehensive data analytics program. We're also going to be starting before the end of the year. We're going to be starting our um, exclusive Power Platforms training, so that way we're going to be able to look into Power Platforms, and Adeola Model is going to be facilitating that with us. It's going to be an amazing time. Um, we dropped a link in the chat. If you could click on that, it's going to be taking you to one of our pages where you can put in your name and your email address, so that way you'd be one of the first to get to hear about our upcoming programs. Apart from the paid programs, from time to time we have some of the free trainings that are usually a benefit to people that are still looking to decide, should I go into tech or should I stay with my current role? I've seen that tech is one of the roles that actually provides immigrants like ourselves the remuneration that is kind of commensurate to our qualification. Now I see a lot of people from Africa coming into Canada, going into the UK, into the US, Europe, and the rest of the world, Australia, um, with at least a degree, a university degree, NYC. Some of them have masters, some even have PhDs. Some of them are even currently having probably more than one master's degree. And it breaks my heart, it breaks our hearts to see people come outside Nigeria and then go back to college to get the skills that they can get from a boot camp, or that they can even get to learn by themselves if they are able to take self-paced training. So that is one of the reasons we have that here. And not everybody, apologies to people who are nurses or who are family members or friends of nurses, not everybody must do nursing to make it abroad. You can actually get into a profession that would make your job easy, where you can still work remotely, despite all the layoffs that we have around. It basically just depends on how you can position yourself in the market. So we'll not take more time to talk about that. Let me just introduce our trainer for today. Her name is Adeola Elizabeth Omodele. She's a full-time Power Platforms developer, and she's skilled in all five Power Platforms, all five Microsoft Power Platform applications. Now we're talking about Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Virtual Agents, and then of course we have Power Pages. That is the external facing website. Now, she didn't just get into this. She was previously a data analyst like myself. Now I'm envious. Maybe I should even get trained as a Power Platform developer as well, so I can follow Adeola's path. Now it's because it looks like it's getting more opportunities. A lot of people do not necessarily have to go in and learn um, machine learning in order or software development in order to be able to create automations. Um, she started as a data analyst, and along the way, she basically discovered the power of low code development, and the passion she has actually inspired her to transition into Power Platform space, where she's basically doing a lot of work to help organizations to automate their processes and to build faster solutions, helping them unlock more value from their data by leveraging on the tools that Microsoft provides. Interesting thing is, a lot of people may think, oh, yeah, what is this? Is it even relevant? Is it still useful? Just this morning, one of my cousins in Nigeria told me, oh, you have a program coming up on Power Platform. That is what we use to automate what they call, what's it called now? Loan appraisal form, actually. So while one person is appraising a client's loan, it's a microfinance organization that my cousin works, while someone is appraising the business here in, let's say, here in Ibadan, Nigeria, and typing in all the details for the business in Ibadan, someone else is seeing the same thing in Lagos, and it makes they just get on a meeting. You don't have to take the physical file there. Everybody can put in their comments. More than one person can put in their comments, put in their evaluation. Everybody decides on how much the client should get disbursed, and they all decide, and then the client gets the loan, and that's just it. So it's one of the platforms that makes work really easy for everyone. So without taking more time, I would let Adeola take it from here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Ayo. Thank you, Mr. Raf. I'm not going to repeat every other thing that you have said, but I want to say thanks for the warm, the kind introduction. And Mr. Ayo has said a lot, so because we plan not to take much of our time. So I'm going to get into the training fully now. So I'll be sharing my screen. Okay, I'm sending a request. Okay. Yes. So I'm starting with the slide. Like Mr. Ayo has said, my name is Adeola Omodele, and I'm a Power Platform developer. Then I'm also a Microsoft certified professional. I have like for Power Platform functional consultant, for Azure development, I have both certifications for now. So then we're going to be talking about the PowerApps. Yeah, this is the overview of what we're going to be covering, the introduction to Power Platform in case you're new to Power Platform. We're going to be talking majorly about the PowerApps. Then we'll be building an application where when we get to that, we'll talk about it. So they will also show us how to build our application under 45 minutes. Then we're going to be talking about the core values of Power Platform, then the conclusion. So yeah, in case you're new to Power Platform, I've given my best definition that a newbie can easily understand Power Platform. So the Power Platform is Microsoft's suite of low-code, no-code tools that helps individuals and organizations build apps, automate workflows, analyze data, and create chatbots, all without needing deep coding expertise. That's maybe somebody has to tell you that, oh, you need to know how to write Python, you know how to write C#, Java, JSON, all of that. You don't have to bother yourself much to be able to come into the Power Platform development environment, to start building amazing apps, building solutions for companies, solving business problems. And there are my 5 major main products of Power Platform. So we have the Power Apps, which we are going to be doing some, maybe like a little, we're going to be talking about today. So that Power Apps is majorly used for building custom business applications. But mind you, there are apps that you can only use internally. That's with Power Apps. So not app that you'll be like, oh, let me quickly build a game and let me put it on Apple Store or Play Store. No, the Power Apps, Power Platform is majorly used internally. But in case you now feel like, oh, let me build something that I want external people to be able to, maybe like, let's say you want to build a feedback website like this, a website for a feedback, or you want customers to be able to reach out to you freely, that's when you go for the Power Pages. So that's majorly used for building external facing websites. And there is also Power Automate. This Power Automate is very powerful. It's majorly used for for taking on tasks for you without you having to deal with it. So and under that Power Automate, you can decide that you want to build an automation that you want that flow to run or an action to happen at 5 a.m. in the morning, whereby you're already sleeping, and it's definitely going to happen. So you get to do that with Power Automate. There is also Power BI. That's when Mr. Ayo mentioned, I was a data analyst. I used to be like, I love data analysis then, and I had the knowledge. Still have the knowledge of Power BI. So I just thought, okay, let me see what more I can do with low code. So I've been working with Power BI. Then there is also Power Virtual Agent. The major thing of Power Virtual Agents is just like the way you interact with ChatGPT. You can ask ChatGPT everything, but this, you have to build an agent, an AI that is majorly tailored to one particular thing. Maybe you want external people, or you want staff to ask questions about, oh, when can they take leave, or how much can they spend if they go on any vacation that maybe the company is going to take the bills on them. So you get to ask that kind of question. So that's with the chatbot. So it's not about, oh, I can come and ask, what can I use if I have this? No, it's just majorly for a particular knowledge, like majorly for a particular question. Things that you feel like your customer might want to ask about your product, time that you open, time you close. That's what the Power Virtual Agent does. Then I also mentioned about the Power Pages. Is majorly used for creating external facing websites. Anybody can come to it, ask you question, put in data for you. So then we're going to majorly talking about the Power Apps, which is that in all of the 5 tools of Power Platform. I love PowerApps so much. Then I would say it's a low-code, no-code application development platform from Microsoft. And it lets businesses and individuals build custom apps quickly without needing deep coding knowledge, like I mentioned. For all the whole Power Platform tools, you don't have to need much coding knowledge. Even in Power BI, you write DAX, so there won't be much when you want to come into the space of Power Platform development. Then we're going to be going into the building of our apps, and I'll show us a demo of how the apps looks like before we start building it. It's a 5-screen app, which we are going to be done with it. And in the app, the app is called Visitors Check-in app. The app is majorly called Visitors Check-in app. I'm sure that you must have been to organizations that maybe before you can come into the organization, you have to sign in. You have to put in your name. You have to write with pen. I can't even remember the last time I heard pen, like maybe to write. I've always been typing, putting something in my notebook. So imagine when you go to an organization, you have to write in your name. Oh, you have to start, oh, please, what's the time there? Blah, no. With this app, we'll be able to do all of that seamlessly for you without having to bother anybody. And with that, the organization can easily use it to track every guest. And also on the guest end, the guests will make it easy. Registration of the guests will be easy when they don't want them to come in, or let's say they want to see somebody, maybe a top person in an organization. If that person is not available, the person will let them know with the application. And the app will be able to integrate it with Database. For me, I love to work with Database because Database is the main data source that is built in Microsoft Power Platform. You must have been hearing SharePoint, except but Database is majorly used inside Power Platform. Yeah, but you can integrate with it from any other, but is the main database. It's the main data source built in the Power Platform development. Then yes, so we'll be diving into the demo now. So, yes, there, okay. Okay, so please let me know if my screen is up. I'm sharing a PowerApps Studio now. Is my screen up, please?
No, not yet. We're just seeing yourself.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it's showing now.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. So now, this is the PowerApps Studio. In case you are new to it, you want to start building, this is how it looks like. And from here, I have the home. I have when we want to start creating. I have maybe apps that I've created in the past. I will definitely have the log here. So now we are creating from the scratch. You can also start with Copilot. Probably you want to do something, but you don't know how to go about it. Just put in your prompt here. natural language. You don't have to start thinking, wait, how am I going to write the English? It's the same English you speak. So just type it here, then let's see, I'm typing something. So this generate icon has brought up something. So we are not going to try, start with Copilot, obviously. So we are starting with our data. Let me just say I'm starting blank here. So now there are different types when it comes to you building apps. You want your app to be responsive. I like to go with containers. Like I like to build my apps with containers. So now, okay, the screen is loading. Please, let's just be a little bit patient. Okay. Yes. So now this is my Canvas App Studio, and I've automatically selected the responsive app that I want to build. And here I'm going to be adding, and before starting, let me quickly talk about the like most Power Apps control that you might want to make use of. This text label now is meant for maybe you want to put an header, like you want to bring in a header into your app. You don't want it, so no, I want this particular control to be in my container. So then I'll be clicking, then I will add my control. Okay, so I think, yeah. So now I'll be going to my property bar to adjust the height, to adjust the the height and the width of my text label. Then I would like my header to be, let's say, 400. Then I also want, because I'm using container, I want it to come to the middle. I don't want it to be at the edge, okay? So then I can just adjust the alignment. Then I will want to say my browse screen, or let's say browse visitor. Okay, so I'll definitely want to change it to increase the font size. Let me make it 22. Okay. Okay. So now, then another thing I want to do is I want to bring in my data. I've created a data table that I want to make use of on Dataverse. So, and the name of the table is visitors table. I'm bringing in my table already. Just a little. Okay, yeah, thank you. So I have my table already in my app now. Then for me to be able to see what I have in my table, I want to see the feeds I have there, even though I don't want to see all the feeds, but I want to bring in a control whereby I can easily see what I have in my table. Then that will make me to bring in my gallery control. So it's just going to give you a little hint of what maybe you are familiar with Excel, then you can just, okay, let me just be able to see a little. But in Excel, you will see a lot of columns. But with your data, with your gallery, you might decide to choose maybe few fields that you want to see. Okay, yes, so now I've connected to it. Okay, so now remember I mentioned that I have data there already. Now I can decide that, okay, so let me quickly bring in, because I mentioned we have 5 screens. Okay, so now I'll be bringing in a button that will help me to navigate, because I'm having 5 screens. How do I navigate to those 5 screens? At least I won't have to, if I have to publish my app out, I won't have to start making the person to come to the back end. So there must be a button that would help the person to be able to navigate to another screen. So that will make me to bring in a button. So I've added a button into my container, and I'll be positioning it, just let it be in the middle, then just at the center. So and I've already made some colors that I want to use, because I love to go with the color of the brand. So I'll be setting on my app the color of the brand that I want to make sure. So I'll be putting the table color in my formula. That's for the app. So I have them here. So now here's the color. So I will just write a line of FX to be able to refer to this color table. That's the X code, either color 1, color 2, color 3, and so on. I'll be able to use an FX to refer to it. So now I'll be making the background of my container header. I'll be making it to be color 2. So container. Then I'll be going with the fill property paste. So it will automatically select the color. So I think this is, I think, blue. That's the color for hybrid tech Blitz. So, and I'll be changing the color of my text label to color white. So I'll also go with my color, changing the color of my text label. Can choose maybe color 2. Okay, I think I like the sky blue. Then I will also do the same thing for the lower part. So I think I'll be going for 4, because it follows like 2. Yeah. So now I would just maybe like make it different. So the color for my button, I'll make it the color of the header. Yes. So now I can easily make my button to make a new request. Okay. So I'll be naming my screen new requests. So it's always good for you to name all your controls. Very important. So can it browse screen? And from my browse screen, I want you to navigate to new request screen. So I'll be writing a line of FX on the onSelect property. OnSelect property is very important in your development. That is where you configure what action you want that particular either is a gallery, the items property of your gallery, or the onSelect property of your button. That's where you configure what action you want it to do. So on my button, I'll be saying navigate. So navigate is a function to make that particular button to take you to another screen. So now I'll be calling the name of the screen. So that's the name of, so one interesting thing is, just because you are new, there is intelligence. It's going to help you to be able to know, okay, what idea or where do you want to navigate to? So it automatically brings in names of screens that you have in your app already, just like I named this new request. Then how do I want you to navigate? Do I want you to just navigate and the kind of transition, just maybe to just make it, to spice it up? So then, so when I click on this, it's going to take me to navigate screen. So we are done with this. Then I can easily, to make our work faster, we can duplicate screen. First, let me save our app. So that's visitors check-in app. So then I can save my app. Very important, always remember to save your app. So as soon as that is done, I would like to replicate so we won't have to, okay? So I can duplicate my screen. So we are going to be using 5 screens. Okay, yes, duplicating now. So we have 3 more screens. Yeah. Okay, so I'll go again. So we'll be having what's the name? The edit screen, the update screen, and the success screen. In case you want to update data of someone who has come, the person maybe mistakenly wrote a wrong name, you will just go to the screen easily, then be able to adjust what you need to adjust, okay? So now I have my browse screen, I have my new request screen, I would like to rearrange it. Then here, I'm taking out the gallery, I'm not making use of the gallery. So can you make it edit screen? Okay, So then, yeah, so I'll make this view screen. Then I'm bringing in a last screen, which is the success screen. And in your Canvas apps today, there is always templates, what you might want to use, maybe for scrollable screen, list, table and forms, you can easily get that. So I need the success screen now. So I've selected the success screen and it's already adding to the app. Okay, good. Now, I think, yeah, let me just name it success screen. Success screen. Okay. Okay, so now I'm in my new screen. I think I would like to quickly duplicate for the new screen. So we won't have to repeat the same process for adding colors. Okay, it's duplicating already. So we'll quickly adjust the effects that we have on our new request button on the browse screen. Okay, let me quickly save the app. So then I'll delete this. And as I'm deleting it, if I use the same new request screen on the button of the browse screen, it's going to automatically take it for me. Like I won't have to adjust it. Now there is a syntax error showing me that there is a problem with my FX, or probably that screen does not exist. On the phone, probably that's what it's going to tell me. So if I put my cursor on it, yes, it's telling me that name isn't valid, request isn't recognized. So I'll come to this screen, I'll name it new requests. Is to automatically take off the syntax here. So now this is it. So if I press, so I'm using, instead of me to play the app, you press down on the Alt key of your keyboard for you to just put it in a play mode, instead of coming here to click, that's coming here to click. So doing that, it will take time. So if you want to test out any functionality that you've added, press down on your Alt key, then use your cursor, put the cursor on it and press whatever you want to test out. So now I'll be taking out this gallery. This is a new request. We are making use of a form. I'll be adding my form to my screen. Yes, new request. I want my user to be able to give me, maybe to put in details. And I'm not going to use all the old columns from my table. So I'll be using just, okay, so Adobe. Okay, still adding. Let's just give it time. Okay, yes, it has added. Now, I have from my field on my table, I have the visitor's name, where the visitor is going to put his or her name. The visitor's ID, the guest does not have anything to do with the ID. That's me. Let's say you're a data analyst, you know what primary column is. So it's just like, maybe I want to place an order, then I want to be the one to decide the ID of the order, which is not supposed to be so. I already set on that table to auto-generate ID for everybody or whoever that is submitting data. So one important thing I would say is, any field you don't want your user to interact with, there is no point of you bringing it to their interface. There is no need. So now, like this, the visit ID, I'm going to be removing it. Then the check-in time, they don't need it. Okay, think. Yes, request status, they don't need it. I already set on this request status to be pending. The host, the admin will be the one to decide that. The arrival status, they don't need it. The status reason, they don't need it. They don't need this. Yeah, I'm going to bring in the image. Think that so one thing is let's say AI is going to bring in columns from your table for you. So you will not be the one to decide it. So you go through to the fields, and you can also come here on the right hand side pane where you see properties. You can select what field you want to add. So I can't find all my fields here. I'll come to add field. Then I'll look for image. Yes, that's visitor's image. I want to add it. Okay. Then, normally they will ask you if you are carrying laptop, that's gadgets. So I'm going to be bringing my gadget type. So which I made a choice column. Any kind of gadget you want to bring, you'll definitely find it. So there's another option for order, right? But as for this, at least let's just talk about laptop, phones, whatever you want to bring. So what model? Very important. They always ask that. So I'm adding the field form. That's okay. So now, since I don't want my user to put in the, okay, yes, it's still adding up for me. Good. Now, I don't want my user to be the one to put in time so that the person will just submit and it won't be like, oh, hello, what's the data, what's the time? There's no need of that. The app will automatically generate the check-in time. So I'll be deleting both the checkout time and the check-in time. Good. Now I can close that pane. So let me quickly save my app. Okay, so now I want to submit data. Like I will have to submit my data to my data table. So let me quickly rename my button. So that's, let's say, send. You can use send, you can use submit. So, but in this case, we're going to be using send. On my on select, remember I said on the on select property, that is where you configure what you want it to do. So I'll be adding to it, I'll be adding submit form. That's the name of my form. So naming is very important. The name of my form is form 1. That's submit form, yeah, form 1. Then, after submitting, I want it to reset. So it won't be that whoever that has submitted, the person's data will be on the interface after submission, which is not good enough. So it has to clear off when it's done submitting. So I'll put in my semicolon. Let me expand. Then I want to reset. I'll write another line of FX. Set form. I'll call the name of the same form, form 1. Yeah. So now if I submit a new data, it automatically go to my data table. So I'll be replicating this screen for us to be able to test that out as soon as we are done. So after doing that, we'll quickly go to our edit screen. In my edit screen, what do I want it to do? I want to use that edit screen to be able to update data for whoever that has mistakenly submitted wrong data. I'll be deleting the gallery control that we added initially. So in my edit, I will be bringing in my edit form. Okay, so Nick, why that is adding to gray out. One important thing I just remembered, in my edit screen, you must set the display mode of your form to new mode. I think it wants to add field with, please, PowerApps, just be a little bit patient. Okay, the screen is trying to load. Yeah. Okay, I want to go to my new screen and set my form to be able to take new data. And in my display mode is very, very important. That's my default mode, rather. The default mode, I must set it to new. So there are 3 different options. There is edit, that you want to edit it. And that edit is important when you are displaying data from your gallery, whereby you want to see more data about that particular row or particular data that you have selected. So I want to set the default mode of my form to new. So when I play it, it will be able to take in data for me. Let's imagine it's in edit mode and maybe I play it. It's not going to display anything. So I must put my default mode to new to configure my form to be able to take new data for me. So I'm going to set it to new. Setting it to new, it will display properly, unlike when it was in edit mode. We are done with this. Then I'll go to my edit screen. So in my edit screen, what do I want it to do? I want to use it to update data for the client. Then I will set the edit property, that's the default in the item property, the item property of my form to display data from my gallery, that's my browse screen. So I'll be looking for the name of, the name of the gallery is, let's just call it browse. I love to name my controls. So browse gallery, good. So I'll be setting on my, okay, edit, yes. So I'll be going to my property pane to look for my items property to set that browse screen dot selected, meaning that any data I select from my browse screen should automatically populate here. I want to see more information because in my browse screen, I have just the name and the time that the data the record was created, which is not enough information for me. So I'll have to come to my edit screen and see more information. So I've set the item property of my form to return more information about the data that I've selected in my gallery screen. So, and for that to be completed, I must set on my onSelect property of my gallery to be able to navigate me to the edit screen. Okay, so I'll say that's browse screen. Browse gallery. So, okay, I think I would even want to do more, not just that. Okay, I'll set on the onSelect. Okay, so I'll put on the onSelect property. I want us to be able to set if there is much time to do that. So I will set on the onSelect property to help us to navigate to, that's the edit screen. So whenever we select a particular data of anybody, it's going to automatically populate it in the edit screen. So I'll be saying navigate, that's my edit screen. Then I don't just want it to just go there. Maybe at least let it go in a stylish way. So so now I've already written an effect on the onSelect property of my gallery. So when I click on, maybe let me click on Jane. So now the visitor's name is showing Jane. Let me go back to browse and select on Elizabeth. Then I can see the visitor's name is showing Elizabeth and different data is showing concerning Elizabeth, and it's definitely different from what it was showing about Jane. So in the update screen, the view screen, I'll be using my form, just that I want to view alone. I'll be bringing that's my display form. There are two types of form. That you can also make use of the edit form too. You can make use of the edit form, but I will use the display form just because I want it to display. But if I'm using my edit form, I can easily set the default property to view. So it won't have to do any other thing. So then I think it will add the field. Is it going to let me? Okay. So let me just give it time to load up the fields. Okay. So, but I'm not satisfied with this because I want to see audio information about it. So I'll go to my field. Just like I said, you can go through your fields from clicking on the form or you coming to the property pane on the right-hand side. I can add more columns that I've created for my table. I want to see the gadget that the person has created or yes, has submitted. The model, I want to see the request status. Yes, I want to see the status type. Okay, so I think that's all. Then I'm going to be adding it to my view screen. Is adding. Let's just give it time to load. Okay. Okay. So yeah, now I have all the fields because I'm the admin. I want to see everything that. I remember I said that any app you create with your Power Apps is used internally. So you're not giving it to the to the visitors to be submitting. Just putting their data. I've been to organization before that. I'm giving tab to put in my. So imagine somebody who is not a computer literate. You're giving the person a tab. The person might just please let me to put it. So, but in that case, that's just the way they do them. But just have in mind that Canvas app, Power Apps is used internally, but when you want external people to interact with what you've built, what you want them to interact with your app, that's just go to external facing website. As you get to do that with Power Pages. So now I have my view screen, and here I will set the items property to view. Like that's going to be my browse screen, my browse gallery, sorry, dots selected. There is difference between, you might be wondering that, oh, in the edit screen, I have browse gallery dot selected on my edit screen. On the item property of the edit screen. Why is it also the same here like this? It's different because in the display mode, it's going to display to you. You can't do anything. You just want to display. And that's why on the, I think we are done, we are almost done with it. I have my success screen. Is I have my success screen here. And in my success screen, I'll quickly add 2 buttons to my success screen. So the success screen will just, at least let not make it boring. So we want to, maybe after submitting, you want to navigate somewhere. So I'll quickly copy, then I'm going to paste it. Yeah, so yeah, where do I want it to go after submitting? I want it to take me back to my browse screen. That's my browse screen. Browse. That's browse to find out more, if maybe any other any request. I mean, you want to see the data of people who are submitted. Then if I want to make a new request, I'll put on this button, new requests. So I'll put on my own select property to navigate me to my new request screen. So I'll say navigate new request. That's the name of my screen. So IntelliSense has brought it up for me. Thoughts. I don't want you to just go. I want it to be boring. So I'm going to wrap that up. Then on my browse button, I'll put on the home select to navigate to the browse screen. That's browse screen, not the gallery. Then the transition. Okay, so if don't forget, you can quickly put it in a play mode, press down on your Alt key. Then if I click here, I'm going to my success screen. Then yes, I'm back to, to my browse screen. From my success screen, I can press down my Alt key, then go to my new request screen. You can see I'm in the new request. This will help me to submit my data. The edit screen is going to help me to be able to update. Okay, so we're not done with this. We are almost done. Let's say update. Then the text label is going to be different. So we are doing just, let's say, little work now. We are almost done. So say update record. Okay, so and this. my update record, I'll set on the unselect property of it, not just only to, oh, yeah, I think we are almost done with this. I have the FX, I've pasted it, then I'm going to debug. Yeah, so because this is definitely going to take much of a time, and now this is the last part. So in my form, I want to use it to update. Then should we check the error part? Let's just see if we can easily, because the typing, the data card value. So we are going to be calling the old names of our data card because we want to update. I want to make sure that this part of the FX is for validation. We want to make sure that the person is not submitting empty data when they are even updating. So I will just quickly debug this. The data card, the name of the data card is value, data card value 14. I'll do yes. So data card value. For the, okay, let's go with the check time. Since the check time is not necessary, yes, the purpose of why the person is there. So the value is 13. Okay, good. Yeah, the name of my image, in case, so that the person will not delete the image. Is it that? Okay. The field didn't have it, so let me quickly break it in. So that's visitor's image. Good. Add. So let's wait for it to update. Okay. So quickly go back to my debug. So the name of that's the data card of that image. So the name is image control. I'll change this image 2_1 to image 3. That's 3. Good. Yeah, the data card for my requests. Yes, my request status is data card value 16. So because it's a choice column, the FX is going to be different from the one that is taking data. Let me do this. That's data card value 16. It's a choice column. Okay, good. Then I also have the arrival status. It must not be empty. So this is checking for the validation. So I have data card value 15. So just change it to 5. Good. So I have, which other one? The host must not be empty. I'll change this to 14. The purpose, I think I've done that 13. So I think for the sake of time, let's just remove that, checking at least. So, but without validation, we'll check that out. So this patch part, I want you to be able to update the record. So in case, let's say the person's name is Elizabeth, and the Elizabeth of the TH is spelled as TT or HH. So when you change it, it will automatically update for that same ID. So that is why it's saying visit ID equals to browse gallery dot selected, so that the particular data that is selected from the gallery is going to be the one that we update for. It's not going to create new record. Default, so let me take us too far. Default is used for creating new record, but when you want to patch, you can use patch, or you will use patch to update a record. And to refer to that particular record, I have my function here, look up to that particular row that I've selected from my gallery and update it. So I have my same data source here. Okay, so we're going to quickly repeat that same process. I think we're going to be for all of them to be able to then image control. Then my visitor's name is value 11. So it's not going to be underscore. Yeah, so for hosts, So I must look for the main data card. So the host is 14. I have 14. The purpose data card, yes, I have it as 13. Okay, the model, you have the model in my form. Okay, model. Why didn't I think so? Anyone that is not there, when you are trying it out, you can easily, so not to take much of our time. My time is almost up. So any data card we're not finding here, we might not just maybe want to add it. Let me just, because this one is majorly used for updating. So let's check for the field. The fields, add, the model, the gadgets. The other one is supposed to be there. That's, yes, I've selected the main data, columns that I created myself. All those other columns I have seen, they are metadata, so I don't need them. So they are columns that automatically created in my data, in my data source, in my data table, when I created the table. So then I have the opportunity to create the column I want. So I've actually selected the columns I created myself that I want to work with. So let's leave it to load. Okay, I think, yes, they've been added. So I have my model. Yes, I have my model data card now. So it's a choice column. So it's not going to be as the same as the text column. So 33. Yeah, so I have my status type. Status type. Status type. Okay. It's meant to be part of it. I do that. Let me just save. Okay. Okay, I'll go back. So status type has been added. So then I'll change it and find the status type. I'll call the name of the data card, that's 35. 35. Okay. Then the gadget type, the data card is 34. 34. The arrival status, that's the last one. 15. 15. Okay, yes. Our code is fine now, totally fine. So now what this code is actually, this line of code, I think it's not up to 50. I don't think it's up to 30. Now this is going to check the validation of my data that I'm submitting, making sure that all the data are corrected. None of it is submitting empty. So just like I have it here, nothing is going to submit empty for the update because you're updating data. And we've added, I think yes, for just four of the fields, not to take much time to have to start typing all of this, is going to check for. So you can also you can also add more, not just this 4, but not to take much of the time. That's why I decided to go with that. And if it is empty, it should notify the person submitting. All fields are required. Notification type error. So if the person maybe I submitted data and nothing is returned void, it should pass that, like pass this level of FX, this notify office are required, then it should not patch. But if it is empty, it will not go further. After submitting, that's after updating, then it can now navigate. That's after submitting, or let me just try it out. I think we're almost done with most part of what you can use this visitors management app to do. Now let me say I'm changing my, okay, let me use name because I have name. But let me just make it, let's use it. Then I'm updating. Okay. So I think one particular field I called is telling me one field is required. That's the reason why we are getting that error. And to avoid that, time is up. Okay. Yes, I think it has actually. Yes, so yeah, I changed for visitor's name, Elizabeth, from Elizabeth to Eli. So now it has updated. That error shouldn't have come up. I don't know, because it's not meant to navigate. It's not meant to pass that because it has already passed where it's meant to check for validation. Then it has patched and updated it, and it has taken us back to our browse screen. So I think the most important part, yeah. So let's say maybe where to create new record, I'll be done in the next 5 minutes. So we create new record. Let's just create new record. Let's say Ken. Then the purpose of why Ken is just coming. Greetings. Then let's say the host is demo. Then the person's image, good. This part, I can select image of whoever I want. So it's going to open up my gallery. Then I'll go to, let's say, let me look for download. Let's see pictures. I think I have some screenshots. Let me bring in this image. Then it's okay. It has uploaded the person's image. Then I can select what gadget do I want. That's, let's say, AirPod. Then what model of the AirPod? Huawei, Techno, Infinix, just there. So I'm submitting. After submitting, it's going to navigate me to success screen. Oh yeah, I didn't set on that to navigate me to my success screen. So I'm going to add it that navigate. So after submitting, it will reset and take me to my success screen. So navigate success screen. Then okay, so just putting D. I did not check. Okay, I think. Okay, let's just use the same thing. So tab, then Samsung, then when I submit, it will reset, then it will take me my success screen. So that I can easily go back to my browse screen to see the data I've submitted. So as you are seeing it rolling, is refreshing automatically from the data source. You don't have to go there and start here. So I submitted for DDD the last. So that's is what you can do with Canvas app. Time is not taking us. I mean, we don't have much time. We would have added more. I intend to add more, like to see the status automatically here, add some buttons, but for the sake of time, we can easily learn more with iTech Blitz. If you're interested, and I'm very sure that you're definitely going to show interest into coming to the Power Platform system, not just because you are what's the name, you're a data analyst, you're a science, this one, or maybe you are not an automation engineer, or any field you can be in, you need Power Platform. If it's not Power Platform, you're going to be needing automations, a lot of things you want to do that you want them to happen automatically for you without you waking up at 3 a.m. or you want to send mail to somebody at 3 a.m. That's it. You want to send email to somebody at 3 a.m. It's going to get that done for you without you waking up. Just like you want to notify somebody. So this is going to take me back to my slide for us to see more other things which time didn't permit us to do. So I'll quickly show us what I was planning to achieve, but it's already 6. So I plan to spend 45 minutes. So I have, yeah, we've done the app demo, shown us how to build the app. I think I was within the time I was able to show how to create new record, how to update record, how to navigate, how to configure your gallery to be able to show records. And yeah, this was what I was actually, but time didn't really permit us. And this is just the same way the database, that the gallery looks like. I had my image, my visitor's name, the host, the date of request, that's the date it was created. So I used the created time. That the created time when it was, that was when the person was requesting for, oh, I want to come visit You get. So now, then I also have the request status. If you have made request and it was rejected, you will not be allowed to come in. So for Jonathan now, the admin would go for, because the person that he or she wanted, he wanted to come to see already rejected. So the admin will automatically go to the database and put declined here for Jonathan. He's going to put, so, but in the case, so this part of Jonathan, I decided to leave it that is not yet maybe updated by the admin. So that's why it's showing on arrival. But when the admin goes there, the admin can automatically put in rejected. And when it is rejected, we can also create an automation that is going to automatically notify the person that your request of coming to visit maybe Prof. Omoti is already rejected. The person is going to get an email of the rejection. So I also have here, this is the visitors details, the browse screen, and I can see the details of, I'm the admin, I want to see what the visit ID is, the name, the image of who is coming to see me. For security purpose, the gadget, the check-in time, I mentioned this, but when you want to get into the training fully, we'll dive into that well, and you learn more with what you can do with your buttons, what you can do with PowerApps, automation, Power BI, Power Pages, model-driven. Yeah, model-driven is one of the branches of PowerApps. Then we also have where we want to create gadget, or want to create new requests, which we did that. Yes, there is also a back, that's the back button icon. This button now is going to take me back. So I didn't have that when we were doing that, but in the training, we'll be able to do that. Time is not taking us much time, but in the training, we'll be able to have enough time to talk about more other things we can do with our controls in the Canvas App Studio. Then I can also, yes, update record, which we tried that out, testing with the visitors, in changing Elizabeth to Eli. Then we can easily submit then to the success screen. Talking about the core values of Power Platform across the tech roles, whichever part you can be, you can leverage on Power Platform using the local no-code development, using it to build apps. In Power Automate, you write JSON when it is necessary. Not every time you write JSON, but when it is necessary. Then create workflows quickly without deep coding. Then it integrates seamlessly with across all Power Platform, or across all Microsoft's databases. That's the connectors. That's either with SharePoint, Excel, even Excel, not just only Microsoft's products. It's integrating seamlessly with, I think, more than 1,000 connectors now that you can easily integrate into the Power Platform. But Power Platform itself have its own database, which is called the database. Then the data-driven decision, that's the Power BI part, where you have to create, yes, you have to create Power BI insight visualization. Then you have to create, that's a report. Then you have to create a very interactive dashboard. And there is also automation and productivity, which helps you to eliminate, yes, like I mentioned, repetitive tasks and sending things that you have to do at your leisure time. Just go and have fun, create automations, and it's already going. Then accessibility, which combines low code with pro code. That's when you get to the Power Page, you get to maybe to design your Power Page well with Visual Studio Code. But you might also want to focus on just Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, and not necessarily all the whole Power Platform, the 5 Power Platform tools, not necessarily. So there is also governance and security. I love to use Dataverse more because there is more of security you can set on your table, your column. Maybe you don't want somebody to see a particular column, and you're both inside the same team. Then you can make this kind of column that, oh, I don't want also person to see this column. You can do that with Dataverse. That's with Dataverse. I don't know about any other data source. That's with Dataverse. Then the conclusion of the Power Apps, which we worked on, Power Apps allows you to build business applications quickly, connect to your data, and run them across devices without needing to be a full developer. You can make use of your Power Apps. As I'm working with an organization now, I can quickly sign in with my device. Then I say, oh, let me open my Power Apps. Let me submit. Oh, I'm close, or I'm not close. I'm coming to work today. You can access that's Power Apps, that app we built. You can access it on your mobile device, on your desktop, on your laptop, any device you want to make use of. You can access all the apps, even automation. You can monitor your flow, your dashboard with your device. So thank you very much. Thanks for listening. Any question? Am I still? Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you absolutely.
Yes.
For the amazing presentation. Thank you so very much. I left a note in the chat saying that we can take questions. If you don't want to unmute yourself, you can type in your questions in the chat. But while we wait for that, I have a comment here from Raphael. It says, yesterday I did Power Automate in the office. It automatically refreshes one Power BI report, extracts an Excel from the report, uploads it to SharePoint, and still sends an email with the attachments containing the spreadsheet. So it's to show what's one of your last statements, that you can actually automate Power Apps with several other applications. Now, with the comment we have here, we're seeing Power BI, Microsoft Excel, SharePoint, and even Microsoft Outlook. Those are four tools already that are linked together. So it's amazing what you can get to do with these tools. Yeah. So if any other person has a question or comment, you can unmute yourself now and chime in your question. Thank you. We're just going to be giving 5 minutes for that so that we can close as quickly as possible. Rafa, you have your hand up. Go ahead, please.
Thanks, Adeola, for the wonderful presentation. It's amazing what one can do with this platform. My question is, since this is called Power Apps, my mind goes to, I go to Android store, I download an app on my phone. When something is built like this, how possible is it to have it on a phone so that one can actually use it like a real traditional Apple app or Android app?
Wow. Okay. So let's say, hopefully, Microsoft will get Power Platform to that level. But any application you build, because any application for now, any app you build with Power Apps can't be published on Apple Store or Play Store. There was even a time I built an app that I built a Canvas app and I embedded it into to make it a React app. I discovered that it was still not giving that avenue to be able to do that. That's why I said that the Canvas app is used majorly in an organization. Anybody who is not under that tenant, like, oh, they have that email, they have that access, or they have that permission, will not be able to make use of the Power Apps. That's for now. So we don't know tomorrow, maybe Microsoft will be open to let Power Apps project applications to be published on Play Store and Apple Store. But you can get that done with Power Page. So, but it must be embedded one kind. So it's not just going to be straight to Apple Store like that, because it's majorly used within organizations. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. I got to know yesterday that for Power BI, it has the mobile view and you can actually access it on your phone somehow. So in my organization now, I can go to the Google Play Store. There's an app you download, and once you sign in, you're able to view the reports.
You're right. Yes, you must also be under the tenant of where that app you want to access. So it must be, and you must have permission too. There are some licenses that does not have Power Apps license. So somebody that have Power Apps license on your account, that's your work email, you'll be able to access your environment when you download the Power Apps mobile app or the Power BI, even Power Automate too. You'll be able to have access to every project, every flow, every app you've created. That's when you download it, and you must have permission, you must have license. Without license, you'll not be able to do that when you download it from the Play Store or Apple Store.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome, sir.
Thanks for the.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please go ahead.
So is it possible to have a more detailed training? Are you planning for a more detailed training? Maybe some hours so that we can actually learn to practice it real life with you. Is it possible?
Yes, so I can take that question. Yes, we do. We're looking to do a couple of trainings between now and December. We will let you know what format it's going to take. we're looking to do maybe a couple of free trainings and then of course paid cohorts that would be more extensive and would be able to look deep into how to use some of these tools. What I would say is this: you'd find in the chat there's a link that is put there, and I'll copy and paste that again. It's a link for you to actually register your email with us in our mailing list. So that way you'll be able to get information on any of our upcoming programs. The other thing I wanted to say is for every other person, please DM me your emails. So you can go in the chat and then click on new chat, select iTech Blitz, which is the host, and then type in your email address so that way we'll be able to send you the recording for this event, and then of course give you updates on any of our upcoming programs.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Well, one last question, Adeola. For this demo, which database did you use? I was suspecting it's a SharePoint link.
Yes, I was about answering that because I saw that in the chat window. Yes, I use data Dataverse. Let me quickly show you in case maybe you download like an app from GitHub and you want to work on that app. For you to easily detect what data source the person is using, you'll be able to find out when you click on the data icon. Let's say I have more other data sources. Please, is my screen up, the the Canvas App Studio? Is it up?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay, so you'll be able to find out, let's say I'm in the tree view now, whereby I have all my controls, everything about the app. Then if I want to see the data source I've used, I'm seeing visitors, then the logo of Dataverse. And putting my cursor on it is giving me more information about it. What connection am I making use of? If I take my cursor off, it's going to go Microsoft Dataverse. So you can see all the other data source you have used, SharePoint, Excel, SQL. You'll be able to see them under the list of data that's coming to the data icon. Click on it. You'll be able to see all the data. So the data I've used is Dataverse. The database is Dataverse. So I think that's the question.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So all at all, you didn't use premium features here. Like you did not. Your platform is the free version you're using.
Yes.
Okay.
So I didn't use any other. So let me at least whenever you see any premium version, there is always this sign of premium in front of whatever control me. I think data source especially. Okay, like this now. This is premium. This is also premium. I think these accounts, so not even I think these accounts is a common data model. Is like once you are creating your environment, you go to the Power Platform Admin Center, you create your environment. There are tables that are added when you select that in this environment, I want to make use of Dataverse. So those tables that are added automatically to your Dataverse data source, they are called common data model. And it is likes of accounts, there is activities, either add items. These are common data model, and it's not that I can't make use of it. I can make use of them even if they are premium. So when you add Dataverse to your environment, these are tables that are added automatically without you creating them, and you can edit them, you can modify them, so it's not going to affect maybe from another environment. So it doesn't have to be premium, or you can make use of it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you're welcome. So. No.
Okay. So do we have any other questions? Okay. So yeah. One other thing I would do here is would leave our email in the chat, info@itechblitz.com. So you can always feel free to send us an email, inquire about any of our upcoming programs and all of that. And you can also follow us on LinkedIn, iTech Blitz Consulting. That's the name of the business page. And with that said, thanks everyone for your time, and please enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope it's not made in China. It's not a Japanese train that will just sweep by really fast. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you next training. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.